Welcome back to the Valdez Family Homestead. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and those notification bells so you can stay up to date with all this information we have for you guys here on our homestead. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video though. Today is the big day. We're receiving our Isa Brown chickens coming from Houston. They've been on the road for 2 days now, and we're just waiting on that delivery for them to get here. And so I'm gonna share with you guys a few things that I have prepared for them and some essentials, I believe, in my opinion, that you should get if you are going to be raising some new baby chickens on your homestead. So let's go ahead and see what I have here. So not too many people will mention this on their channel when raising new baby chicks. This is electrolytes. So it is essential, especially when you have traveling baby chicks that have been on the road. They haven't drank water for a few days and they haven't eaten anything. So they're gonna be dehydrated. So I highly suggest investing in some electrolytes. Even at times, these electrolytes can even come in handy if you got a sick hen that you gotta put to the side and she's dehydrated and you wanna get her hydrated again. These to me are very essential on the homestead for your chicks. Then for our baby chicks, we have our 2 feeders over here. So this is for their feed here. I've already got it loaded up. It self-feeds as the chicks eat. So I got that filled up and we'll get into the food here in a minute. But let me show you the water dish now. So I already got those electrolytes that I was talking about loaded up in here. So these electrolytes call for a full packet for a gallon of water, but since this is 1 quart and there's 4 quarts in a gallon, I just put the tip of a teaspoon of this powder into this water, and so that's why it's this orangish color. I'm sure a ton of you have seen videos circulating of Tractor Supply feed. You don't want to give your chickens Tractor Supply feed. I'm not gonna get into that. There's tons of videos out there, you can go watch them. But in my opinion, and many others, I would stay away from that Tractor Supply feed at the moment. So let me show you what I'm gonna be giving my baby chicks. What we've got here is a brand called Kalmbach. And I've heard many good things of this feed company. And this is a starter feed for your chicks. You can, of course, they make the adult too, so when they grow up you can get them the adult feed, but this, of course, since we're talking baby chicks here on the channel today, this is for your baby chicks and it is medicated. So as you can see there, it's medicated starter feed. I've noticed a ton of the feeds are more of a powdery substance. Let me show you this feed here and why I highly suggest getting this for your starter feed. So you can see here, I have it in my 10-gallon bucket, and we'll get into that here in a minute. As you can see, the feed hardly has any powdery substance. You're getting more feed out of this. Now don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but compared to some of the other feeds I've seen out there, this one has less powder. You're getting more feed for your buck. Like I said, I highly suggest this Kalmbach brand, especially when you're starting out with your chicks for your starter feed. Since we're already here with the feed, I want to show you my bucket that I got to store the feed. Now we're gonna have 5 hens coming our way. I suggest, of course, depending on how many hens you have, they make these metal buckets in different sizes. This to me is good, at least for now. So this is just a 10-gallon bucket I picked up at Home Depot. This one also does have a metal locking handle. There's people out there that say you don't need this. I think it is highly essential to mix this with your feed. As you know, chickens don't have teeth like many other animals. So when they eat, they of course just swallow their food. So they have a pretty good digestive system, but when you're swallowing something whole, you know it's not very good coming out the other end. It can lead to digestive problems and sometimes even death with the chicks and chickens. And for about 6 weeks, you're gonna have the chickens in a bin like this, so they're not gonna be picking up those things they need to digest, such as little pebbles, rocks, hard things that help them digest that food in their stomachs. So what I highly suggest is getting some grit. This is a Do More brand. I know this is a Tractor Supply brand, but all this is tiny pebbles crushed up, and you mix it in their feed. It's as if they were outside, free ranging, picking up the things they need to digest their food. So you just mix this in their feed, and like I said, it's just little pebbles. I'll show you that on the camera. And it is just Do More Chick Grit. And let me give you a closer look of how it looks here. So it's just like little bitty rocks, finely crushed. So what it does is when they swallow this with their food and it gets to their digestive system, the pebbles are rolling around in their stomach, helping break down that food so it can pass through them and they don't have any complications when using the bathroom. Okay, so let's talk about bedding. Chickens can sometimes get a lot of dust in their lungs from the bedding you're using, and so of course this bedding comes in large flakes or finely grated flakes. These are pine shavings. So what I suggest, especially for these baby chicks, because they're gonna want to eat anything and everything, and it's bad if this gets into their respiratory system, especially the dust from the pine shavings. So I suggest getting the flakes and not the finely shredded ones when you're raising your baby chicks. So as you can see right there, these are big old flakes. You don't want any of that dust getting in their respiratory system, because that can lead to other issues as well. So pretty simple. Flakes for bedding, grit to help them digest their food, Kalmbach feed, better than the most out there. Speaking of feed as well, we will be making our own feed here on the homestead once they're out of that baby chick stage, which is roughly about 6 weeks is when you're going to have them in their chicken coops. You want to slowly transition them to their coops when they're about that age. So let me show you where you're going to be keeping them before that time comes. So depending on how many chicks you're going to have, this I picked up at Walmart. It's just a 27-gallon bin here, and just a storage bin. And so I've already have their bedding in here with their brooder, and we'll get into that here in a minute. And so I already have it all set up. This is where this is plentiful for 5 chicks. They're only going to be using this for a few weeks, so they're not going to be in here very long. As they get older, people don't know, but of course chickens can fly. It's not very far or very high, but you're gonna wanna cover this as they get older, because they're gonna start developing their wings more, and you don't want them to hop up out of here and get into some trouble. Once they get of age and they start jumping up, flying up, you wanna have something to cover the top here. I'm probably just gonna use some chicken wire, some with very small holes, because you don't want something that they could get their head stuck in if they do jump up, or that they could injure themselves. So let's go ahead and talk about this brooder here. So this is called the Thermal Poultry Brooder. You can pick it up at any of your feed stores, your local farming stores. You can even pick them up online at Chewy, Petco, PetSmart. I've seen them on there. And why I highly suggest using this instead of a heat lamp. Heat lamps are very dangerous. Usually people don't know how close or how far away to put the heat lamps for the chicks. And so if they put it too close, you can kill the baby chicks by putting it too close and overheating them. Like I had mentioned, it causes fires. And then if people put them too far away, they might not be getting sufficient heat to give them that warmth they need. So what this does is it acts as a mother hen, the babies go underneath, it stays at the correct temperature that they need to stay warm. They can even get on top, and it's safe for them. They can get warm on top, on bottom. These do come in different sizes. This is an 8" by 13 by 8. This size is plenty for the 5 hens that I'm getting, but they do come in different sizes. If you're new to the baby chick world, highly suggest getting one of these brooders here. And so here's all the essentials I believe you should get, especially when you're new to raising baby chicks. Check out what we just picked up from the Postal Service. Hear those little guys in there? They've had a long journey, so let's go ahead and get them home, and then we'll take a look at them. Oh, look at those little guys, wouldn't you? Aren't they adorable? Come here, Emma. Come look at the baby chicks. It's okay, come here. Oh crap. Close the door. Close the door. Yeah, okay. What do you think of the baby chicks, huh? They're cute, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah? Like the baby chicks? Yeah. So these little guys are 2 weeks old. The hatchery that I got them from doesn't send them out until they are 2 weeks old. They're a little bit bigger than you would go to your like Tractor Supply and get them when they're only a day old. Since they're already 2 weeks old, what I was telling you guys that you have to worry about is them flying up out of here, and they've already done it several times, so I'm having to cut some holes into the lid that's gonna go on this so they don't come out here into my garage and get themselves injured. If you've ever gotten baby chicks, you know they are delivered by the United States Postal Service, and they're supposed to give you a call when your baby birds are there. I had noticed at 8 o'clock this morning it had said they were out for delivery, so I said I'll give them a little bit of time to give me a call. So these poor little guys were sitting at the post office this whole entire time. I didn't go up there till about 11 o'clock. They told me, no one's called you yet? I was like, nope, but I'm glad I'm here to get them because I don't know if I would even receive them today if I hadn't came up here to check for myself. So these poor little guys have been on the road, like I said, for 2 days. They were shipped out on Tuesday, and today's Thursday. But I'm glad they all made it safely. All of them look healthy and of course alive. They're eating, drinking, getting used to their new area. Before long, these guys will be outside in their chicken coops. And then after that, they'll be producing nice brown eggs for us here on the homestead. So just a little more information on these birds. They are called Isa Browns. You can look them up, ISA Brown. These birds were bred to lay a ton of eggs throughout the year. So these are thought to be a cross between the Rhode Island Red and the Rhode Island White, which gives them that beautiful brown tone here. You can't really see it yet because they're still little babies, but you can see they have a little brown tint on them. As they get older, you'll start to see it more, of course. These little birds, if you look up their nature, whoa, look at him go. See, that's why we have to put the lid on here, because these little guys are flying everywhere thinking they can do whatever they want. We don't want them getting into any trouble here and getting themselves hurt. As I was saying, their temperament is family oriented. So if you look up the breed, they're supposed to do really well with kids, and they're that type of bird that likes to cuddle up next to you. Another good thing about this breed of bird, it's very rare for them to go broody. If you don't know what that is, it's they have, of course, that motherly instinct in them. So sometimes the chickens, when they lay their eggs, they have that motherly instinct and they want to have babies, and so you can't get them to leave the nest once they lay the eggs. And sometimes it can be very hard for them to get off those eggs so you can get them from them. They want that motherly feeling where they're taking care of their babies. So there is some other types of breeds out there that go broody more than others. But this is one of those breeds that is not supposed to. It's very rare for them to do that. If you've been with us here on the channel, you know from time to time you've seen in the background or me talking about it, our dog Apollo. He is a Great Pyrenees, and those dogs were bred to guard livestock, and they're even well known for guarding poultry like this. And so what I want to do is get him introduced to these little fellas so he can get accustomed to them. I of course don't want him to be one of the predators I have to worry about. I want him to be their guard dog. Even though Apollo may seem like a big old beast, he's a little soft cuddly teddy bear. Not only that, he's only 5 months old. So even though how big he is, he probably already weighs about 60 to 70 pounds. He's only 5 months old. So fully grown, he's supposed to get about 100 to 130 pounds. And so I need him to get accustomed to these birds. So we do have bobcats and tons of coyotes here. One of the main things we're worried about when we're letting these birds free range is hawks. We have tons of those that they've been known to, in the area we live, to take little dogs. And like nothing, of course, they'll take one of these chickens. So here in a minute, I'm gonna bring him out here so he can get accustomed to them and get to know them and get their scent, so he knows they are not food and they need to be protected by him. Come here, Apollo. Look at him. See, boy? You gotta protect these little baby chicks. Yeah. You gotta protect them. Yeah. You see that? You gotta protect them. You gotta protect them, okay, Apollo?
They're little babies.
What do you think, Apollo? You gonna take care of them, boy? You gonna take care of them? Apollo doesn't seem too interested in them, so I mean that's a good thing. He's a little bit curious as to what they are, but I mean other than that, he just smelt them and did his own business and went along. I mean, he needs to be around them a lot so he can get more and more accustomed to them, and not want to kill them but protect them. The birds, Apollo. Look at them. Look at them. What do you think, boy? What do you think?
I think they're cute, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What do you think? I hope y'all enjoyed the video today. Thank you so much for being here on this journey with my family here at the Valdez Family Homestead. Until the next one, see you guys later.